What is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and I am coming to you live tonight, December the 5th of 2017. It's a Tuesday night. You know I'm always here Tuesday nights live on Facebook, but that will be actually changing soon. We're going to be doing lots of changes here at the new year. But that's a whole nother story. I'm here to talk today about a lot of things going on astrologically. Some of the most fun things that I think that are going on astrologically. We're definitely in a Mercury retrograde now, but I'm going to tell you guys all today why I think this Mercury retrograde is different than all the rest and how this one doesn't have the same sort of rules that are applying as a typical Mercury retrograde. So we're going to talk about that today. We're going to be talking about a lot of galactic center stuff. We're going to be talking a lot about Leo stuff. We're going to be talking a lot about Mars stuff. We're going to be talking a lot about Venus stuff. We're going to be talking a lot today about a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on right now. And you know how I like to do. Let's just show you what's going on in the universe right now. This is actually set to the clock. So basically it's literally tick tock of exactly where the astrology is today. So we're talking to you today with the moon in Cancer, of course. We've got this sun, which has finally come off of Neptune. So that's been good. You know, I think that with Mercury retrograde, full moon, square Neptune, I mean, there's been a lot of, you know, kind of a crazy, literally, I can say the word crazy switch in the universe. But I think it's been very positive. I think that the energy right now is definitely, I want to say letting off, I think, some of the more extreme gas that we were feeling over the last couple of weeks. Even though there's still a lot of extremities coming over these next couple of weeks, since this is the end of Saturn, right? As Saturn right here is at this galactic center point, conjunct Mercury retrograde, getting ready to come into Capricorn. So there's a lot to talk about in this space as well. And of course, we'll go over it more on my, you know how I do, where I show it over in the chart and so forth. But man, oh man, there's so much going on, but I think that there's a lot of positive going on. So let's start with that first, just when I think about the positive things going on and when I think overall just about this Mercury retrograde and how it's positive. I really think that this is a very positive Mercury retrograde. You won't hear that from me much, but you know, I really do believe it. I really do. I think when I really think about this Mercury retrograde, I'm like, you know, I really like it. I really like what it's been doing. It's a very rare one, and I'm happy to be seeing it. So let's talk about it. Let's show you guys what's seeing. So I'm running this chart for Friday, December 8th of 2017. Well, actually, let's see if I can go, if I did one backwards. Oh, yeah, no. So let's run this one. This one's for Friday coming up here. And the reason why, and let's just show here is Mercury conjunct Saturn Mercury retrograde conjunct Saturn direct, okay? So Saturn's moving forward, all right? Saturn wants to go home. Wants to go home. It's literally a degree away. This weekend, Saturn will be on its last 28th degree mark, and by the time we enter Monday, Saturn will be at 29 degrees. Literally one step, one little minor degree away from home. Okay. So Saturn's extremely excited, but also it would be like, think about being on a 28.5-year plane ride in a way, you know, or it's like more like 26 years, but you know, being on that long of a plane ride, like you would just be antsy as hell to get back to your natural home. Even though Aquarius is also the home of Capricorn, of Saturn, you know, the actual home where Saturn feels the most at home is Capricorn. So you got to remember that. Saturn right now is super excited, super ready to make things happen, and no more pondering and no more debates over beliefs and what's right and what's wrong. Just knowing decisions and making things happen and going towards them and really getting there. You know, that's what Saturn wants. Now, it's interesting. Mercury retrograde going backwards, right? So Mercury retrograde is going backwards. So, but Mercury is stopped on top of Saturn. This is where Mercury stopped, right? It's on Saturn, and Mercury and Saturn, I've said this in my last live videos, they really don't get along because Mercury's really fast and wanting to deliver information and run around and doesn't like to sit much, and Saturn is kind of ironic. Saturn's at the same time being like, yeah, I don't want to sit here either. I'm trying to get home, right? But I know you're here with me, so why don't we figure some shit out to do together? It's almost like the cosmos and God. God literally was like totally through Mercury and Saturn for like this really funny story. Like, I know Saturn doesn't like to move fast, but he really wants, or she wants to move fast right now. It's also a he because of the Aquarian vibe, but Saturn wants to move fast and Mercury wants to move fast, but he's being forced to move slow, but Mercury doesn't mind actually, I think, being retrograde on top of Saturn right now, because it's like, well, I guess if I'm going to be here, there's a lot of work to do, and a lot of it is at the galactic center point. So if you think about it, I mean, this is a major moment in people's lives of really focusing on their great future, focusing on how to create the biggest future ever, how to create the best vision you've ever wanted in your life. That's what this is about. This Mercury retrograde is a very positive one. And you know, most Mercury retrogrades, people are going to tell you, don't do this, don't do that, don't. This one is encouraging, yes, yes, yes. I know that might sound crazy, and I'm probably gonna get a million astrologers telling me that I'm fake news astrology. But the truth is, I can mount up a good enough case that this Mercury retrograde is not a typical Mercury retrograde. Number one, it's happening in Sagittarius. It's happening in the detriment sign, so it's not already strong there. Two, Mercury retrograde on top of Saturn. This one is having the wisdom of Saturn on top of it that is in a direct motion, that is literally at the galactic center point, saying it is time to build the ultimate direction and future of your purpose, of, more importantly, getting prepared for Capricorn, which is where Pluto is, which is where we are digging deeper to find our lifelong purpose, our whole entire reason why we're here. So everything that's aligning right now in life, this Mercury retrograde is helping us understand things and get prepared, get ready, get excited for the beginning of this new year, which is going to be a humongous start of the year with all the planets moving forward by January 2nd. And with Saturn in its natural sign, and with all the things that are going on right now, I mean, this is not a typical Mercury retrograde. This Mercury retrograde also has the benefits of being in a fire sign right now where Saturn is. This Mercury retrograde has the benefit of Venus that is also going to come in contact with each other over the next couple weeks. So, you know, there's a lot of positivity to this Mercury retrograde. There's not a lot of hard transits. The only hard transit Mercury retrograde is going to have is the one to Chiron, that just went direct. And a lot of this is not telling ourselves horrible stories anymore of why we can't. And now we need to start telling ourselves stories of why we can. You know, I saw a news article today. It was on NBC, and I very rarely pay attention to news articles, but it like popped up. It was one of Facebook's top ones, and it was saying like something about the ice melting in Antarctica and how it's going to maybe possibly affect California's ability to make rain. And I was thinking about this. I was like, okay, another just article about fears of what could be, this is a typical Sagittarian article, especially with the Mercury retrograde. It's like, this is us leaving fearful stories of what could be, and instead starting to manifest and create stories of what will be because we believe in the most positive way. You know, it's like, that's what this is about. It's like this is about creating positive stories of your belief structures and letting go of stories that really do not align with that positivity, stories that do not align with really, honestly, a positive, forward-thinking, awesome, galactic center, purposeful vision in your life. So there's a lot right now that is saying like, that's what this is about in a very big way. Plus, this Mercury retrograde is going to trine Uranus, right? Okay? That's going to start next week on early next week, so a week from today. And, you know, this is really, I mean, you want to talk about looking into the future? Literally, I mean, everything is future, future, future. Future! Okay, like I cannot describe that any better. Future, 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 future. It just keeps like the future. It's like I feel like we're all like in Star Wars or Star Trek right now, like in our spaceships, like ready to blast off into the world right now. And I think that it's freaking exciting. I think that this is an exciting time for the world. It's an exciting time for everybody that all these alignments are happening. And I know it. You can feel it, and you can feel it in the air, right? You can feel it in your breath. You can feel it in your bones. You can feel it in every part of your body that the universe is ready for you to take a leap. And it's a leap of faith. It's a leap of faith into what you know you were meant here to do. It's a leap of faith in doing what you know you're called to do in every bone of your body. And so this Mercury retrograde, don't hesitate. Everything's moving forward. Let's show why too. Mars at the last degree of Libra. Okay, this is by Friday. Okay, Mars is coming into Scorpio on Saturday. Okay, I have another slide to show you guys where I'll show you guys that. But just remember that. So Mars is on the last degree. And why is that important? Because when Mars is at the last degree of a sign, it's more edgy. It's more intense. Mars rules our masculinity, our drive, our ambition. And yes, it's in the sign of detriment of Libra. But get this. Venus came out of detriment when it came into Sagittarius last week. Now Mars this weekend comes into Scorpio, its home sign. So everything's moving home. Everything's moving into strength again. All the planets are turning forward and direct and moving forward. I'm telling you folks, things are moving fast, fast, fast. Use this Mercury retrograde as a it's like this one is so weird. I don't even know really how to use it. I think it's like, of course you need to, dot your I's and cross your T's. But I think a lot of it is like preparation, like getting all the little things together. It happened on top of Saturn. It means it had a huge list of shit to do. It's kind of like an elf from fucking Santa. Like, I can't describe Mercury retrograde and Sag on Saturn any better as Saturn's moving forward at the last degree at the galactic center point. It's like working for motherfucking Santa Claus. It's like Santa Claus has a list and he's got a lot of shit he's got to get done here in the next couple weeks. So get it done. Like, that's the energy. It's like, holy cow, I got to get all these things done. And so this Mercury retrograde is about getting the things in order and done. So when everything moves into Capricorn and everything at the end of this month goes forward and all the planets are moving forward and everything's moving forward, we're all like, woo, let's do it. So this Mercury retrograde to me is literally like a motherfucking elf working for Santa Claus. Like, and you know what? I'm going to be real. This is a little bit off topic, but it's very astrology related. Gemini is the elf, okay? Geminis are the elves of the zodiac. They look like elves. They are elves. They are elves, okay? And so Mercury is a little elf. And when it's on top of anything in Sagittarius is Santa Claus, right? Santa Claus does all his work in Sagittarius. That's why it's Jupiter ruled. That's why it's all the days right before Christmas, and it ends 4 days before Christmas, and then we come Capricorn. That's why that last week of the week, right, or the 4 days before Christmas is the 3 days of Christ, going through his death and his resurrection. That's the whole point of Christmas. It's the whole understanding of it, and it's the same thing in astrology. It's like Santa Claus doesn't do his work 4 days before Christmas. He does all of it right now. And this one is like feeling like there's just a lot of things that get done, a lot of things that you got to do, and do not hesitate. I've been preaching that one like a preacher boy, and so Mars is coming into Scorpio, so there's not going to be so much detriment energy. Our strength's coming on. The best way to describe it is the universe is turning back on again. It's like we're getting our power back. We're feeling like we're back in the saddle again, so it's exciting news to have. Some other interesting transits that are going on this week that I think are extremely awesome is, and let's throw some of this, okay, because we got so much going on. The sun, 16 degrees, right? This is on Friday. Remember, this is all happening while there's all these other things going on. But look at this. It's going to trine over to the north node as the moon is going to sextile over to Mars. And I didn't even bring up another reason why. I want to look at you when I say this. Another reason why I'll be the astrologer that tells you don't think that this Mercury retrograde says don't. Mars is sextile Mercury and Saturn this whole week. pushing things to move forward, making things move forward, whether you like it or not, being put in situations where it's like, oh God, it's Mercury retrograde. Should I do this? No, the universe is being like, yo, mofo, you got to do it. Mars is sextiling it. It's pushing it forward. It's saying go, 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 go. Mars is like the end of the train in the big engine going, go. I'm pushing. Don't stop. Don't put your brakes on, you know? So there's a lot of saying to go, to push things, you know, and I another thing that I want to stress is, let's look at this chart. So this is the weekend chart, for Saturday, December 9th. On December 9th, look at this. Mars is in Scorpio by Saturday. So back home, back in its sign of desires, wants, let's go, let's make commitments, let's make things tangible, because it's going to be a 3/4 square of the moon in Sagittarius and Virgo. So Virgo is going to be very interesting about, oh my gosh, you want to talk about Santa's helpers, or just more importantly, a lot of things to figure out and do and manifest and tangible and create, while Mars now is out of its detriment in its home sign of Scorpio, in its most powerful position, ready to move forward. And look what's got Mars next to it. Holy shit, is that Jupiter? Is that Uncle Jupe up in there? Uncle Jupe's in the house. Mars is going to meet up with Uncle motherfucking Jupe. That's who I'm calling Jupe now. Uncle Jupe. Uncle motherfucking Jupe. And you know why that's such a big thing? The reason why is Mars and Jupiter is a part, I'm just going to cuss, I don't care. It's a fucking rocket ship, especially in Scorpio. It is gnarly. It is going to add and exaggerate all these Jupiter and Scorpio issues, truths coming out at the highest degree, more stuff that we'll see in sex scandal stuff, but in the positive way. Boy, when it comes to your desires, boy, when it comes to your to the things that you want to create. This is a sign of creation. Scorpio creates. It's the magical cum that comes out of you know where that creates a baby. It's Scorpio, especially Mars and Scorpio. It's ready to go. Oh, it's one of those nice. And it's meeting with Uncle Jupe, who's ready to open up all the doors, everything that we got to do. And it's been underneath there for the last month and a half, being like, hey, look at all this shit down here. I've already kind of like seen it all. Let's make it happen. Let's open the doors. Let's make it, let's go. Mars and Jupiter together is one of the most powerful transits in astrology, folks. It is a rocket ship, and it's going to come right at the beginning of the year in January, right when all the planets are direct. There is a major rocket ship taking off for all of us in our lives at the very beginning of the year. Do not miss the train by listening to bullshit astrologers telling you, don't do anything, it's Mercury retrograde. Don't do shit, okay? Just sit on your ass for 3 weeks and wait. Bullshit. Bullshit. Calling it bullshit. Sorry, Uncle Jupe's there. Uncle Jupe. So with this energy, especially, I mean, come on, at the same time that Mars, right, is in Scorp, right, is the same time we're going to have this moon square to the sun. Now, this can make things a little bit crazy, okay? But it's awesome because I think what it's doing is it's forcing us to make tangible the belief systems and the future and the visions we're having for a future. We have to do them. We have to go. We have to make them tangible. We have to do something about them. The other thing is Venus. Venus at 11 degrees is going to exactly square Neptune. And so this is going to also force, when it comes to our relationships, our projects, our things that we want to manifest, it's putting them under a spiritual spell. It's putting them in saying, you know, it reminds me of Walt Disney and how Walt Disney had to, you know, create a world, and people thought he was crazy. They really did. People thought Walt Disney was crazy, and how he created Disneyland, and how, you know, he went for it, and how he created this awesome place, and everybody just didn't get it. Everybody just didn't see it, you know, and it was like they just saw like it's just like, I can't describe it any better. I want to show you in a picture. I've shown this picture before, and I actually showed it at the very beginning of Saturn and Sagittarius. And I think it's so ironic. I'm going to show this picture again, ending Saturn and Sagittarius 3 years later, because it was actually December 2017, Saturn moved in. So here was Walt Disney when he was building Disneyland, and the first one and the original one, right? And building the castle. And so people just, I don't think got it. I don't think they got it. I don't think they figured it out. And I think Venus square Neptune is really like, sure, it might seem like it is fucking insane. It might seem like it is way out of reach. It may seem like, you know, it's not, but if you know it's part of your spiritual persona, destiny, reasoning, it's going to bring good fortune, it's magical, Neptune's direct. This is a moment in all of our lives of us constructing our Disneyland, of us constructing our amazing places that we're going to take life and we're going to go in our life. And you know what? There is going to be a million motherfucking naysayers. There is going to be a million people that tell you, no, don't do it. Don't go. Don't live in the way that you want to. This is Venus square Neptune. There's going to be people trying to give you advice and persuade you to give you advice in ways that are just not for your own benefit, to distract you off a certain track, to get you to go into a different place. This is a huge week because this is the last time, and I'll show you right now. Hold on. This is going to be the last time that the moon is in Leo while Saturn is in Sagittarius, okay? And this is the last grand trine in fire for a while, especially dealing with Saturn and Sag, or such a powerful grand trine, okay? So I'm going to show you why. So the moon will be in Leo on top of the North Node. You're never going to see the North Node in Leo and Saturn and Sagittarius again in your life unless, you know, you're old enough to see it 60 years from now, possibly. If that's true, I'd have to do the calculations, but we're not seeing it 30 years from now, okay? But with the moon and the North Node in Leo, look at all this trine aspect, okay? Look at this grand trine. I mean, it's amazing, right? Okay? Look at it, okay? And it's connected to Uranus. You're never going to see this again in your life, okay? Especially dealing with it at the galactic center point. I cannot stress this anymore. I mean, I don't want to get a little like crazy, like kind of alien talk on you guys all, or like get way too channelistic, but like portal, like straight up motherfucking portal time, like at its highest peak this week, like jump through it, like sliders aspect, like sure, there might be a little bit of a crazy, like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I should jump through this portal because maybe it'll take me to a universe that is an alternate universe. You know, Bashar just came out with I don't know if any of you guys know Bashar, but Bashar just did like a live channeling session. I think it was last weekend. I'm in the Bashar group. You guys should go in there. And somebody put some notes on there. And Bashar told people that over this next cycle that he says is the next 5 years, and I've said through astrology and my channeling that over the next 5 years is intense. It's like we get to choose our alternate realities, or we get to choose the reality that we're in, right? There's a lot about this portal about when we jump into this kind of ultra different dimensional state that we're moving into at this moment. Like we really get to choose it. I am on the like awesome train here. I am like on the, this is going to be great. This is going to be positive. Some people might think I'm the most delirious people. Some people might think I'm on a million drugs. Some people might think I'm drinking alcohol when I'm drinking a fucking Sprite from Chick-fil-A. You know what I mean? It's like, but I am just being real as all can be right now. That this is some major portal jumping, okay? And this is major portal jumping where you get to code in because this is super fire. This is super based on your belief system. This is super based on your ego. And this is super based on your heart space at the same time. And with the big squares to Venus over to Neptune, right? This is based off your own spiritual imagination and center, and no more believing the bullshit stories with the Chiron direct aspect and Mercury squaring that in retrograde, letting go of those old stories, letting go of that dreams can't come true, letting go that the portal's going to be horrible if I jump through this portal, letting go that your heart can't get what it wants, letting go especially with this South Node in Aquarius aspect, right? At 16 degrees and the moon going to oppose this, letting go of this notion that everybody else knows the right way, or you know that, oh, I should go where everybody else has done, or oh my gosh, they don't like it, or they blah blah blah. This is not about them. This is not about these people. This is about you and where you're going and your story. And actually that leads me to, I'm sure you guys saw in the title what I had to say about why I'm today I did a post and I said I'm quitting astrology. And I'll be honest with you, I am quitting astrology. what we know of it, I am done with the organized astrology groups. I was just paying money to literally ISAR for the last year, okay? Got nothing out of it. They don't announce nada. They give you like one email a month. It's like from 1985. You go to their events. Nobody exchanges anything, does anything. It's just kind of just everybody's lost in the clouds. I just feel like astrology has to go in a new direction. I feel like all this Capricorn energy and everything that's coming in, there are people out there that are changing astrology forever, making it impactful, making people change their lives, making predictions that are coming true. You know what's so crazy is all the people on ISAR predicted that Hillary Clinton would win, and they all tried to make a great excuse that astrology is not predictable. Sorry to say, I know a couple people and myself predicted that Trump would win, and we all predicted it way far in advance, and we got it right. So now, you know what's even more bullshit? I am so fired up about this. The motherfucking United Astrology Conference is going to do a panel with, should astrology be used for predicting? Well, goddamn right it should, because it's predicted about everything great ever, and I can guarantee you that everybody watching this motherfucking video has been watching me for so long, because we all together in these live sessions and in the live horoscopes on my app and in my free content have predicted not only what we're going through spiritually, predicted how the things are going to go, but predict how life is changing all the time. For them to even question it is allowed. I know you guys would think that I would say is dumb, but it's like you know how in government there's the establishment? The establishment astrology right now is literally blowing astrology. No following, not getting people excited about astrology, talking about not predicting, just doing it so old school, it is just crazy. So that's why I'm quitting astrology. I'm not even going to call myself an astrologer anymore, because I am embarrassed to call myself an astrologer because of the people that have created astrology and what it is today. It's literally embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Astrology is embarrassing today. It's associated with, you know, living in the woods and whittling wood. And if you're not, you know, I got told today that I was a showman and not an originality. You know what? I think that originality and showmanship together outdoes anything in the world, especially when it comes to inspiring people. It's like, when is the astrology community going to wake up and going to start to show people that astrology is impactful, that it can change lives, that it can move people to find the best interest in their life, that it can be used as a tool to connect to God even higher? But you know what? They don't want to do that, and I'm following my Leo heart, and I'm creating, you guys might have seen it on my Facebook today, my new app, Future Life's coming out, a whole new community with not only astrologers, tarot readers, lifestyle experts, you know, people talking about everything from chakra healings, everything. I mean, the whole 9 yards, vegan food dishes every week, blogs about everything. I'm just going into the whole enchilada about how to live in your love and light and how to live a better future. Astrology is just embarrassing now. It's embarrassing. I am so embarrassed. I have never been more embarrassed in my life to call myself an astrologer, because the people associating us with astrology is embarrassing it. They're making it not cool, not hip, not with the times. It is 2017. 2017. It's going to be 2018 next month. Guess what? We have fucking phones we're talking like James Bond now. Text Leanna Palmer. I hope you're having a nice night, babe.
Okay, I'll send this.
We're in 2018. I can't even, I am like blown away right now that the astrology community doesn't even use freaking live streams with astrology maps. They're still printing them out. I mean, it's like, I'm just so embarrassed. It's just so embarrassing. It's like being part of a club that's an old boys club where they smoke cigars, and you know what? They don't let you in unless you take them in the back and suck their motherfucking dick. And like, I know that's a very harsh analogy, but that's the truth. With ISAR, with all of these like associations, unless you have sucked their dick or made a book where you gave them a kickback or did something like that, they won't let you come to do their speaking aspects. They won't let you do shit. I have come out and done, and I know a million people. There's a million awesome YouTube astrologers out there. We have killed it out there. We have gotten people help. We've done more readings than any astrologer on any of those places have done in their lives in 1 month. I guarantee you it. I guarantee you that in 1 month I can show the statistics of how many readings I've done than they've done in maybe 5 years. It's insane. It's literally insane. It's literally insane. And you know what? This old boys club shit, I'm done with it. I'm done with it. It's like a joke. I'm not going to give my money anymore to any astrology organization when they don't even recognize the people making the moves, changing astrology, making it great, making audiences, going and creating conferences where people actually come, that they're excited to come, that they feel like they're connected to you. You know, I gave money to ISAR. I never got a thank you. I never got even knowing what I was giving money for. What do I get out of my membership? I just give you money and you expect me to just like, oh, okay, I've got an ISAR badge now. It's like a freaking joke. They ain't giving you nothing. So I am quitting astrology. And I am not going to call myself an astrologer anymore, because the truth is I believe that there is a higher form of astrology. I believe that it is, the best way that I could describe it is it's a new age psychic, because the truth is that, you know what? I am a psychic and I use astrology, but you know what? Astrologers are lame. They're lame. They are boring. They do not have inspiration. They tell you nothing but statistics and crazy crap without a reason behind it. I have bought an astrology reading from all of the biggest astrologers, all of them, literally. You can ask them. I've bought it from them. And just to see how my competition was, and every single one bored me, didn't inspire me, didn't make me feel like they understood me at all. And you know what? I am done with astrology. Done. I am never going to call myself an astrologer again. I am taking off my website in the next month everything dealing with anything called a celebrity astrologer or anything like that. I am no longer going to call myself part of the astrology community as far as astrology goes, because you know what? At the end of the day, until it cleans itself up, I feel like I'm in a place with a bunch of people that literally just are extremely just taking it down. Like literally just holding it from moving into the future. Holding it from moving into the future. And it's just sad that they're holding on to something so tight that they don't want to let go of whatever they're holding on to, which is nothing. You can't hold on to astrology. Astrology is not meant for a certain amount of groups to say who is an astrologer and who isn't an astrologer. Astrology is free. Astrology is for the universe and forever. You know what? Yes, I do charge for horoscopes, but I also do this free every week. You know what I mean? And I give out as much as I can to help people every week. That's how I always will be. I will never stop doing that. That charging aspect is for the benefits of having it every day in the palm of your hand when you need it at every moment. But I give out a weekly vibe to help you get through your week if you can't afford it on every network that I can for free. And you know what? These people out there are trying to jack astrology from you. They are literally not in to inspire you. They are in it for themselves. And I'm sorry to say that, but it is so true. All the old boys clubs around the whole entire world are going down. And you know what? It's starting at the astrology level as well. And it's just sad that, you know what? I personally have to say this, but nobody has the balls to say it in the astrology community. Nobody will come out and say it. I tried to become a speaker for the UAC, okay? I was at UAC 6 years ago. Was there 6 years ago. Worked for Matrix Software with Michael Erlewine, who's a real astrologer. That guy's a real astrologer. Put astrology on the first computer. You know, that guy is an amazing astrologer, does heliocentric astrology. I can say a million great things about Michael Irwin. I don't put him in that category. There's a lot of great astrologers out there. I don't want to put down every astrologer, but it's these organizations, and it's the people who like suck at the tit of the organizations for acknowledgement that have created this. You need to go through there to even be recognized to be speaking at any of these things. Well, anyways, long story short, I applied for a speaking thing, and I was even on the YouTube video. Type in UAC 2012. Guess who's in the video on the news? Me, when I was a young astrologer in there, and I wasn't even allowed to speak then. Anyway, long story short, I try to speak, and they go, "Oh no, sorry, you can't speak." I was like, "Oh, really?" I give them the business proposal that I'll probably be able to bring this many followers. I have this many subjects. I do this many people. No, you were past the deadline. I was like, what? The deadline? I look at the deadline. I was for the one that was for somebody. I sent my thing for the one that's somebody that's already done a speaker, already spoke at different events, spoke at UAC, I've spoken at Conscious Life Expo, all these other things, right? I turned it in for that one. They totally just set me to the side and said, "Sorry, there's nothing we can do." I said, "You know what? When you think," and I named a bunch of other astrologers. There's a million astrologers out there I believe should have a forefront. And I'm not just talking about me, that are on YouTube, that have great following. Scarlet Moon, Nadia Shah, even Astrolata. There's a bunch of new people out there too. Cameron White, of course, the Peace Dealer. I can go on for hours. There's a fucking bunch of us that rock that shit so hard. Kelly Rosano. I mean, I can go on for hours. We are all out there busting our butt, got tens of thousands of subscribers. People watch us every day, and the conferences deny us. Literally deny us of speaking. And you know what? So I'm speaking for all the YouTube astrologers and the astrologers on Facebook and the astrologers on Instagram. There's a new chick, Wonder Girl Astrology. She's awesome. There's a lot of awesome new astrologers out there. There's the Cosmic or Girl or something, Modern Cosmic. She's awesome. There's a lot of awesome astrologers out there. You know, even though Gianpaolo De Coco and I square off sometimes, he's a good astrologer. Sometimes, sure, I think it's dark, but you know what? He's a good astrologer. He deserves, even though some of his shit might be crazy, he deserves a place at the table. Santos Bonacci, I don't agree with the way he's treated people, and I said that very loud and clear. I've said that louder and clear than many. But you know what? And some of his ideas, sure, might be way out there for some people. And I'm not saying I believe in every idea of his or not. I've taken some awesome info from that guy in my life. That guy has been a great teacher. That guy deserves a spot at the table. But you know what? Nobody, because they didn't pay some money to an old boys club or do something like that, they don't get zero access. Bam, bam. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. So, you know, it's time to basically start a whole new thing. And that's why I'm starting Future Life. And it's not even going to be about, I don't even want to use the term astrology anymore, you know, because I feel like it has completely been tattered, and it's been completely, just like when you hear the word politics, astrology is in that field now because of the politics in it, the people who are the establishment, the people that don't open the doors for these people at all at the main places and want to just drive it into the ground that way. And it's just extremely sad. And take your money and don't do anything with it, and don't do anything to bring into the future or 2018. Don't even get it. Don't have a business sense. Don't want to make business moves with it. Don't want to do nada. Don't want to help people at all. Literally just trying to make some money, you know? And it's just sad. It's just sad. You know, with all the sex scandal stuff coming out right now about people, you know what? The truth is the establishment astrology community fucks astrologers literally in the ass unless you fuck them in the ass. You know? Like that's the truth. And there's a lot of people that are afraid to stand up in this community and say things. And when you do, you're scrutinized. They ask, where did you get taught? It's like, hello, I got taught by God. I got taught by the universe. if you get astrology, either get it. It's a past life thing. Like, honestly, I should make a shirt. Astrology, it's a past life thing. Like, it is not something, if you went to school and you had to learn it and you're still having troubles and you can't do the math in your head, like, I'm able to know in my head without looking at ephemeris that the North Node in Leo and Saturn in Sagittarius will not happen the next time Saturn's in Sag. I can do that math in my head. I can do that math. If you can't do that in your head, of course, like, it's like, oh, I'm going to just stop the rant now. But there's so many great astrologers out there, and they're all, you guys all watch them, and we are all extremely repressed in the actual astrology community, and I am forfeiting that 100% now. I am not going to try. I am not going to invest in those areas anymore. I am literally going to continue to forge ahead in new directions with new spiritual content. I created a new media company, which is coming out in the next month. You'll see a whole new show coming, a daily live show that's not going to be astrology related, but going to be much more broad related. I'm going to be doing all my astrology on Future Life and doing all my horoscopes there. And I'm changing this whole format. This whole thing is changing, because not only because it needs to, because this is a new world, it's a new way. And you know what? It's a new paradigm, and it's a new spiritual paradigm, and it's a new way to go. And you know what? Calling myself an astrologer and be doing astrology the way that everybody else has been doing it is just not going to work. It is done. It is done on this date today. No more. Gone. I have showed you guys all the astrology for this week. This week is literally go for it. Change the world. Make it is your destiny time. And you know what? I always thought that my destiny was to be an astrologer, but it's not. My destiny is not to be an astrologer. My destiny is to show the astrologer that they can step up their game, that they are weak. They are not helping the world. They are not showing the way. They are not making it help the world at the greatest way. I got accused of no originality. I would accuse astrology and the astrology community of the most lack of originality in the whole entire world I've ever seen in my life. So anyway, that's my rant. I love you guys all. I'm sending you all my best. Really powerful astrology this week. God is always number one. Put God first. Trust God. God's going to show you the way all the time. All the freaking time. You know, and this is a powerful time to not be afraid, to move forward, go into the direction that you know in your life. Take it and live with it. Live from your heart. Live from your truth. Live from your beliefs. Go for it. Don't believe in negative things anymore. Don't believe that you can't accomplish the things you want in your life. Stop believing the bullshit. Stop connecting with places that are not divinely guided to a higher light, to a higher purpose. That feel that fire I'm sending you through the camera right now. If you don't feel that fire through the camera from people, if you don't feel that fire through their written thing, if you don't feel that fire, that connection, that want, if you feel like everybody is speaking and talking like CNN and the news and everything and starting to sound all mental and Aquarian, it's because they're stuck in the South Node in Aquarius and they're not listening to where the God is pointing, which is the North Node in motherfucking Leo right now. And unfortunately, I'm the Leo King, so I got to deliver this fucking message. But if you are listening to all of the voices and how it should, and when it's really about empowerment and it's really about shining and being at your brightest. And if you're not doing that, then you know you've got to look in the mirror and find out why. There are issues that you need to learn to disconnect from to move into your light. And you know what? This channel is always going to be about the light. This channel is always going to be about moving forward. And to be honest with you, I am just extremely disheartened that most of the astrology community is not ready to move forward. And you know what? Today, I'm cool with it, because you know what? I'm ready to move forward into a better way, and I'm extremely excited, and I'm going to blow everybody's mind next month. Literally blow everybody's mind. You watch. I'm going to ride that rocket ship with Uncle Jupe next month. I'll see you guys later. Talk to you guys in the next week. You'll see some other stuff from me soon, but sending you guys my best. Love you guys all. You know how I roll. See you guys later. Bye.
The Leo King app is the world's first and leading video and notification astrology horoscope app for iPhone, Android, and computer. Get daily spiritual videos and addictingly accurate notifications alongside weekly sun sign horoscopes, tarot videos, and exciting new age entertainment videos by celebrity astrologer and TV personality David Palmer, the Leo King. Join today. You have nothing to lose with a 7-day free trial and wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.
Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before.